Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony is about to begin. Please take your seats. Thank you.
afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. How about another round of applause for the Dixieland Band? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It is wonderful to see you all here today. My name is Mary Grant, and I'm the president of Mass College of Art and Design. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Massachusetts College of Art and Design, it is my great pleasure and honor to convene today's graduation ceremony. I am delighted to welcome the class of 2022 family members, faculty, staff, alumni, friends, and guests to this day of celebration. And I am thrilled that we are joined by members of the classes of 2020 and 2021. Welcome. I extend my sincere congratulations to all who will be recognized here today. We are so very proud of all of our graduates and your many accomplishments. And as we convene today's ceremony, we do so with a land acknowledgement. The campus of Massachusetts College of Art and Design is located on the lands of indigenous tribes, such as the Wampanoag and Massachusetts. We make this land acknowledgement to pay respect to these communities, past, present, and future, and to recognize the painful history of erasure and ongoing violence toward indigenous people in North America and across the world. We acknowledge this part of our history to affirm our values to pursue a more just, compassionate, and equitable learning environment. Thank you. Please be seated. And I make that acknowledgement on behalf of Gail Hill, who could not join us today, but sends her greetings. Wow, look at all of you. This is great. Class of yes, it is great. Class of 2022, you are a remarkable group of talented, passionate artists. You graduate MassArt well prepared for the opportunities and challenges ahead of you. And one thing that we know for certain is that there will be plenty of both. Commencement is a day of celebration, and this one is particularly joyous. Let me state the obvious. We are here, we are in person, and we are together. That is joyous. Graduates, you have delighted, amazed, and inspired us with your tenacity, your perseverance, your creativity, and your humanity. You have moved from classroom to Zoom room to kitchen counters, from attics to cars to coffee shops to studios to galleries. Your creativity literally knows no bounds. In fact, you've actually given new meaning to that phrase, knows no bounds. You have created works that amaze, move, delight, and provoke, that make us laugh, catch our breath, capture our imagination and our hearts, engage us in conversation, and provide the gift of a shared experience. You have designed creative solutions and innovative approaches to complex problems. You've created spaces and places to bring community together, and seemingly simple yet elegant devices that improve daily lives or open up possibilities. You have stepped into classrooms and community programs virtually and in person to mentor and to continue to reach the next generation of creatives. You have brought your considerable talents to giving voice and chronicling the challenges, the injustices, and the loss we have experienced throughout the pandemic. You have incorporated sustainable practices in your making to help us realize that things can be beautiful and we can take care of the planet at the same time. Your work yes. Your work carries messages and meanings, and it helps us all. We witnessed this powerfully during the fashion show, where we saw an elegant trench coat that carried a potent reminder of loss and love, with the names of Black and brown lives lost and loved. You have done your remarkable work while working sometimes multiple jobs or while raising a family or caring for loved ones. You have made your families proud. You have made all of us proud. Families. You know, under ordinary circumstances, your accomplishments would be most noteworthy. But you have not done any of this during ordinary circumstances. You have done all of this and so much more under the most extraordinary circumstances. You accomplished all of this during a pandemic. Classes of 20 and 21, when you left campuses in March of 2020, who would have guessed, who would have imagined that would have been the last time we would have been on campus together for over 18 months? And that your final projects, your exhibits, your reviews, and your theses would all be done virtually, and that commencements would be something celebrated and acknowledged very differently. You did all of this, all of you graduates, under extreme circumstances, the circumstance of COVID-19 and all of COVID's persistent mutations, through sickness, testing, quarantine, vaccinations, and boosters, through periods of isolation, loss, and grief. We wore the masks and observed the social distance protocols because we wanted each other to stay healthy. It has been a time of great challenge, but we have been in this challenge together. And here we are. You fought back. You would not be denied. You put your time, your energy, your education to good work, and today we celebrate all of you. We celebrate your work, your art, your creativity, your humanity. And we celebrate the example you have set for the rest of us. You overcame the adversity of the pandemic to be here today. And we have learned much from your example, and we have been reminded how fragile life can be and the necessity of a supportive, caring, strong, forgiving community. We are grateful for the time we have had together and thankful you have been with us. And while we rejoice in the company of those who are here with us today in this space, we cannot help but think of those who are not here with us. And I am sure that each of you holds in your heart the memory of a family member, a friend, a mentor, a loved one who supported you and guided you along the path to this day, and for whatever reason is not here with you today, at least not in person. As a country, we have lost 1 million lives to COVID, thousands to violence fueled by hate, most recently in Buffalo, New York. And while we know that silence is not the answer and cannot stand, in this moment, in this place, for all we miss, all we love, all who we mourn, let us take a moment of silence. Thank you. Your commencement is the culmination of years of artistic, creative, academic work and accomplishments. It is also made up of the work of many members of the MassArt community who have put great care and energy into making today's celebration a very special day. Would you please join me in a round of applause for the talented and devoted MassArt team from facilities, technology, student development, academic affairs, the registrar's office, public safety, alumni advancement, the commencement committee, and the countless volunteers who have worked with great energy and enthusiasm to make this day a day of celebration. How about a round of applause? All of applause. Thank you all. Thank you so much. I would like to take a moment and thank the faculty, librarians, administrators, and staff of MassArt for their time and their energy. Thank you for the important and inspiring work that you do and for your commitment to delivering a world-class art and design education. The work that you do shapes and enriches our collective future. Deeply committed to the mission of MassArt, MassArt faculty and librarians are educators, practitioners, mentors, scholars, artists, makers, experts in the field, who use their expertise to inform their teaching and deepen their engagement to their students. They give of their time, their passion, their expertise generously and without hesitation as we continue to build and shape the future of MassArt. Our dedicated, creative, accomplished staff and administrators work in partnership with the faculty. No matter their role or assignment, they go above and beyond to make MassArt a special place where students can achieve powerful and creative results. They serve the college with distinction. The commitment of this faculty, librarians, administrators, and staff to excellence, to teaching and learning, to creative practice, and their commitments to our students is inspiring and moving. I have seen you too go through extraordinary times. During these most challenging times, you have helped our students to excel while keeping a watchful eye, caring deeply about what has been going on in their lives and the toll that it has taken on them, pushing aside, quite often, the toll that it takes on all of you. Through your important work, you make a difference in our future. I know you share my pride, my admiration, and my love for our graduates. I'd like to give an extra special shout out to our studio managers who were on site day in and day out throughout the darkest and most lonely days of the pandemic. They were joined by our facilities staff and our public safety team and a few other hardy souls, often working in isolation, literally keeping the lights on and the doors open and the equipment operating. Out of sight, but also key to continued operations, a special thanks to our COVID planning and operations team who worked so hard to keep us well and safe, our colleagues in IT and technology who kept us connected, and our teammates in A&F who kept the complex lifeline of pandemic relief flowing and got scholarships to our students. I would like to invite the faculty, librarians, administrators, and staff who are here today to all please stand so that the graduates and their families can recognize and thank you. Thank you all. You really are something else. Thank you so much. I'd like to recognize the members of the MassArt community who are with us today and will be retiring. Sandra Grace and Chuck Stigliano have touched the lives of countless students. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Chuck. We are a better institution because of you. What a legacy you have left. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much. At MassArt, we are fortunate to be served by 3 volunteer boards, our Alumni Board, the MassArt Foundation Board, and the MassArt Board of Trustees. Appointed by the Governor, our trustees represent the Commonwealth and MassArt with distinction and passion. They bring with them an array of creative, artistic, civic, and professional expertise. They are stewards, champions, and advocates for MassArt. They are generous with their time and their resources so that we remain a strong and vibrant institution. Thank you to our trustees and to the representatives from alumni and the MassArt Foundation boards for your support, guidance, and friendship. I would ask that our trustees and board members stand so that we may recognize and thank you as well. Thank you. It gives me great pleasure now to introduce the following speakers. James Mason, Interim Provost and Dean of the Faculty. James is a graduate of MassArt and has been a member of the Fashion Design faculty since 2007. James will be followed by Jenny Rebecca Falsetta, Chair of the Liberal Arts Department and First Vice President of the Faculty and Librarian Association. Jenny will be followed by Stephen Spencer, who is graduating today with his undergraduate degree in SIM. Stephen is from Dorchester, Massachusetts, and he will be speaking on behalf of the undergraduates. And then we will hear from Dean Lucinda Bliss, who will read the remarks of Stanislav Smarmish, our graduate program speaker, who unfortunately is not with us today because of, you guessed it. Stanislav grew up in Brockton, Mass. He sends his love, his wishes, and he wanted to be here desperately, but we will hear his remarks from Lucinda Bliss. So please join me in welcoming James Mason to the podium.
I guess I can stand on this too. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I want to start by saying let us never take for granted and not forget how important occasions like this are, especially when they were denied to us for so long. So I just wanted to start off by saying that. Now, let me find my speech. All right, ready to go. Here we go. Greetings. Dear graduates, what an unexpected, chaotic, exhausting, surreal, relentless, and challenging journey you've been through to get to this place at this time in all of our lives. You've made it. I applaud your commitment and courage, and indeed your optimism and perseverance. You are surrounded by those who have helped you get here too. I applaud your families. I salute your friends and commend the faculty and staff that have supported you in many ways to bring you to this commitment. May we also remember those who started this journey with you who are no longer with us. They will forever be with you as you leave the boundaries of MassArt. Commencement is defined as a start, a beginning, a ceremony in which degrees or diplomas are conferred on graduating students. Or commencement is a ceremony held once a year that honors students who or will soon graduate, which means completing all requirements of their degree program. I've been tasked to give remarks, a commencement speech of sorts, and it's been a minute since I've stood in this spot to deliver that. So I had some difficulty coming up with a theme, so I went to the Google machine to help me. So here are some suggestions that Google gave in terms of giving a good commencement speech. The commencement ceremony is one of the most meaningful and symbolic events in a college student's career. It is a time to reflect on the sacrifices and accomplishments of the past and on the hope and excitement and responsibility of the future. It is a time when parents and friends visit the campus and meet often for the first time the classmates and faculty members of the graduates. In many cases, it is the last formal on-campus encounter with the college community and a crucial moment in the graduates forming a lifelong impression of their alma mater. Now, here are some of the suggestions that were listed, and I'm going to go by them one by one. Number one, know your audience. Hello, audience, good to know you. Number two, know what the commencement address is and is not about. Well, I'm talking here about hope, though it seems our times may seem hopeless. I could ask you to dream big, yet many of you are just waking up from a nightmare. The power of positive change, yes, that is the one. More than ever, never before, we need your patience, your resilience, your tenacity, and yes, your extraordinary talent to impact your community and change the world. Number three, as in every conversation with strangers, avoid the following: religion, race, creed, or sexual orientation. Personal brands or favorite technique systems, interesting. Political opinions, well, sometimes. Negative views of other professions. Number four, don't dwell on the past or get too technical. Actually, you are every fiber of your past, every moment at MassArt, the very good, the very bad, and the extremely ugly. Five, never attack the graduates for the past or present sins. I won't. Number 6, balance the serious with the humorous, trying. Don't overquote. Ha, I'll be overquoting here. 8, avoid miracle cures, and antidotes. I have no magic or miracles to share. Avoid money talk. It is distasteful and inappropriate to discuss. I do wish you all a prosperous life, whatever that means to you, and hope that you eat very, very well. Number 10, finally, and perhaps the most important, keep it brief and keep it lively. Well, it may be too late for the brief part, but let's see about the lively. I will leave you some words of wisdom from some other folks. Excellence is not a gift, but a skill that takes practice. We do not act rightly because we are excellent. In fact, we achieve excellence by acting rightly. Plato. God don't like ugly. My grandmother. Remember, ugly is as ugly does. There is always something to do. There are hungry people to feed, naked people to clothe, sick people to comfort and make well. And while I don't expect you to save the world, I do think it's not asking too much for you to love those with whom you sleep, share the happiness with those with whom you call friend, engage those among you who are visionary, and remove from your life those who offer depression, despair, and disrespect. Nikki Giovanni. If it's flipping hamburgers at McDonald's, be the best hamburger flipper in the world. Whatever it is you do, you have to master your craft, and that's by Snoop D-O-G-G, Snoop Dogg. And so, class of 22, today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Dr. Seuss. Congratulations, class of 22. And I now introduce Jenny Rebecca Falsetta.
Salutations. It is a beautiful view from up here, I can tell you that. I am pleased to greet you on behalf of the MassArt faculty and librarians, and to represent the Massachusetts State College Association, of which I am a proud union member. Today we honor 3 graduating classes, each of whose senior year heralded a pandemic phase of its own. And to each of these distinct eras, faculty and librarians responded with grace, grit, and humor. We start with the class of 2020, our graduates of the early pandemic phase. That mid-March, over 2 years ago, your graduation was so close you could taste it. But then the power went out. We all froze like deer in the headlights for a few moments. We mourned the half-completed thesis projects locked in off-limit studios and the senior exhibitions that would forever remain uncurated. But then, we all got to work, reinventing, reformatting, reimagining the way we taught and the way you learned. To help you across the finish line, your faculty and librarians rose up with brilliance and generosity. In one notable and shining example, senior illustration portfolio class became tea time with John and Irina Roman. Every week, Professor Alex Gerasev would star in a mini production number, complete with lights, costumes, and music related to the theme for the week. One day, he sported temporary tattoos. Another day, a Viking helmet, and of course, a lightsaber from May the 4th. We were all scared, Alex told me, and he wanted to impart a sense of joy and unexpectancy to keep us together. Some of the efforts of the faculty and librarians on your behalf were less visible and far less glamorous. Librarians scrambled to digitize needed resources. Faculty extended and re-extended deadlines and changed departmental grading policies. Surviving early-stage pandemic was in many ways about the grand gesture and sheer heroic will, yours and the faculty's. To the class of 2020, now out in the world and long gone from campus, some of whom are here today, we salute you. Class of 2021, you completed your senior year in what we might call the meso-pandemic era, what might be called the year of modification. Released from the immediate panic and paralysis, and somewhat more savvy in the ways of Zoom and remote pedagogy, faculty labored long in the summer of 2020 to design comprehensive remote studios, seminars, and critiques. Your senior year began with transitional leadership, deep panic about budgets, and a painful reduction of the adjunct faculty pool. But once again, faculty supported you in ways visible and invisible. They assembled equipment kits, slipped in notes and candy, and put them in the mail to you. They overcame their Luddite tendencies to navigate virtual breakout rooms. Librarians continued to forge paths of access to resources and brought their research sessions to Zoom. And in the thoroughly game and flexible way of MassArt students, class of 2021, you danced along as the meter changed. In a senior year that was largely remote, you partnered with faculty to engineer virtual showcases for your work, such as Breakthrough, the virtual fashion show, and complex online exhibitions that mimicked walking through real space. Some of you have chosen to cross the stage today, and we honor you. To the class of 2022, when the pandemic upended normalcy, most of you were sophomores. Maybe you'd had a semester of major study and thought, this is good, this is home. I'm going to flourish in this department. And then, uh-oh. But hear this, no one in the history of your discipline has been formed quite like you have. 2 crucial years of study, technical learning, studio practice happened in conditions of modification, inventiveness, and creativity that will bear fruits unknown to us. As students of, please God, the late pandemic era, you will bring to your future art making, teaching, advocacy, curating, and design work the changes wrought in you by this historic time. You truly represent a new generation. Struggling to write these remarks the other day, I took a wandering break to the 10th floor of Tower, and I'm not sure exactly what I was looking for, but what I found was exactly what I needed. I found 2 obliging architecture seniors, and I asked them, what would you want the crowd at the pavilion to know about what faculty have done for you? One answered immediately, they were so understanding, adding that to observe the community modeled by faculty with and among each other helped students to experience their own sense of belonging. Another volunteered, They pivoted from being teachers to being family and friends because everyone was in it together. Now, I have every confidence that these graduating architects were rigorously versed in structures and urban planning, but that's not what they chose to talk about. They told me instead of the net that faculty wove for and with them, a net of care and presence and support, modeling and living out the ways in which art and design keep us holding hands in the dark. To my fellow faculty and librarians, I know, and so do your students, what you have given to these 3 classes of graduates, often at great cost to you and your families. For you, I wish the longest and most delicious summers of your lives. To the classes of 2020, 2021, and 2022, COVID or no COVID, you are astounding, gifted, and visionary. You are tenacious, that's a popular word today, and inspired. And you are worth the loving labor that faculty have lavished on you. Let's let today be for all of us a revel and a celebration, the joy that can only come at the end of a long, hard road, well-traveled. Please join me in welcoming Stephen Spencer, who will give the address for undergraduates.
Wow, okay. Thank you. I'm just gonna do the speech. Greetings to all of my friends, family, instructors, and fellow artists. My name is Stephen Spencer. I'm an undergraduate student obtaining a degree in interrelated media, and I'd like to ask you a question. What can you control? I stand here before you as a person with a so-called promising future. I, however, would like to argue that the same promise that is within me is in another form inside of every single person here. It is a power within yourself, friends, family, instructors, and artists. A power within people. I had to go out of my way in order to be standing right here before you today. I transferred schools in majors, and I managed to still graduate in 4 years, which is crazy. It took a lot of art making, a lot of meetings, and a lot of time, but I did it. Looking back, it might not seem very simple, but hindsight is still, always will be, 2020. Anything you want to do in this life has a path. And when you were born, this degree you're about to get was not already written for you. The fact is that the endless possibilities still required you to make your way here with that same hard work and dedication, and you did. So congratulations. As we have all established ourselves, or aim to do so, as artists and became them, we've all been pushed beyond some boundary with the expectation of growth. However, to no one's surprise, we very likely may have failed quite a few times in some respect. Those who know me personally know that I've collaborated with artists that I've idolized, and also know that I've sent out mostly emails and DMs that have led to nothing. Nothing but another reason to keep trying different things. This made all the times I received anything back that much sweeter. Here at MassArt, as we made more art and did more work and shared with our peers, receiving feedback, resulting in our further growth, we achieved more success. We had to accept what we could control, that being the craft and delivery of our art and the courage to take any steps forward, from the hours and hours necessary to hone our craft, to experiment outside of our comfort zones, and to move forward with making art and coming into ourselves. The same can be said with anything in life that you put your mind to. So, what can you control? Unfortunately, you were not able to control the fact that I got up here and gave you this talk. You can, however, control how much you clap, holler, whistle, or whatever you'd like to do when I finish what I'm about to say. Now, I'm sure that you've all heard this before, but if by some injustice of the universe you have not heard this ever in your life thus far, I stand here before you to hopefully plant this seed in your mind. To say what so many influential historical figures have said time and time again. With what you can control, do this. With whatever strength your muscles have, with as much grit as your brain can muster, at whatever pace your heart desires, crawl, walk, run, or fly. To the class of 2022 and all those walking with us today, with fearless love, please keep moving forward. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now I gotta read this part. And now, I hand it over to Lucinda Bliss, Associate Provost and Dean of Graduate, Professional, and Continuing Education, who will read us the remarks of my fellow student speaker, graduate student speaker, Stanislav Marmish.
My heart is just bursting. This is amazing. I was trying to find my grad students, and then when I saw them, I wish I hadn't because the tears started. We've all been through so much together, and this is just a joy. I'd like to say that Stanislav's words, which I am just so honored to read, they're beautiful, and I think we're streaming, so Stan, I hope I do your words justice. And his comments are dedicated to his mother. I know, that is a major awe. For the past couple of years, I've had one phrase I am consciously repeating in my mind. This too will pass. Through times of stress and struggle, this too will pass. During periods of conflict or grief, this too will pass. This phrase reminds me that nothing remains the same, that whatever I feel now will eventually melt into another emotion. It can help remind me that solace is possible within me, even while the world around me is tumultuous. It teaches me that change is not only possible, but inevitable. If I can remember that, then I can look more closely at the emotions I'm feeling and can try to hold them with care, and I can begin to find comfort. Armed with compassion, I can act to positively change my world. I repeat this phrase during moments of happiness and celebration as well, not because I'm an existential masochist, but because I may need a reminder to be present for these emotions. We all want these joyful feelings more than their opposites, but we need to remember that they will not last either. If we keep this in mind, we're able to experience them more fully as we are present in the moment in which they arise. So today, as we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates, I invite the graduates to allow ourselves to feel that sense of accomplishment, I invite friends, family, and faculty that helped us to be welcoming to feelings of pride. I invite us all to feel the joy and love that is undeniably with us here today, because we know that this is a unique moment and that it too will pass. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Jenny, Rebecca. Thank you, Stephen, for your beautiful words. Thank you. Thank you, Stan. I hope that you are watching, and I'm sure those beautiful remarks meant a lot to those who love you. And Lucinda, thank you for reading them so beautifully. It is now my honor to invite Elisa Hamilton, Chair of the MassArt Board of Trustees and MassArt alumna, to join me at the podium as we begin to recognize our 2022 honorary degree recipients. Elisa?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'd like to add my heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduates and your families, and deep thanks to all the folks who supported these graduates in getting to this incredibly special day. As part of today's celebration, we have the honor of recognizing 3 outstanding individuals who represent the values and mission of MassArt, and who have each contributed in different ways to ensuring that the arts remain a vital and essential part of our communities, our culture, and our humanity. We will hear in a moment about each of our honorees as we present them with a hood representing Doctor of Fine Arts. I want to thank each of our honorees for sharing this momentous day with us and congratulate them on their many distinguished, impactful accomplishments. Thank you. And in recognition of the outstanding contributions to arts, culture, and community, and by virtue of the authority granted by the Department of Higher Education and by the Massachusetts Legislature, the Massachusetts College of Art and Design is honored to present as candidates for the Honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree, Jared Bowen, Steve Locke, and Kim Janey.
Thank you, Elisa. Would Jared Bowen and Jan Saragoni please join Chair Hamilton at center stage? Jared Bowen, thank you for keeping the lights of arts and culture burning, even during the dark days of lockdown and isolation. Those were deeply challenging times that we all endured together. When theaters, museums, and every single venue in Boston was closed, you maintained a warmth and rapport with your audiences, delivering news of events that would again one day be accessible. You connected us with each other through remarkable imaginative events that were shown only on our screens. But even performances that were held at a distance helped us keep the flame of creativity ablaze in our minds, our hearts, and our homes. You continued to bring the brightness and illumination of the arts even when we had no access to studios, stages, museums, or galleries. And here we are in a reopening world where the beauty of creative work is again in reach. You always strive successfully and consistently to inform the city of all the creative richness it has to offer. You encourage us to dream, and your ability to evoke the creative process to describe a performance or an exhibition is indeed a gift. You have received many accolades for your skills and talents, several New England Emmys, and 2 prestigious Edward R. Murrow Awards. You have also received a Commonwealth Award for your achievements in the arts, humanities, and sciences. Most people are familiar with your television and radio broadcasts, but you have also worked behind the camera and the microphone as a documentary producer with deep knowledge of education systems and their complexities, as well as other critical topics. As the Emmy Award-winning host of GBH's Open Studio with Jared Bowen, you bring viewers inside the creative process inviting us to meet a wide spectrum of extraordinary artists, both new to their fields as well as those who are deeply experienced. And you introduce us to their work. As a correspondent for the PBS NewsHour and a regular guest on 89.7 GBH, you cover a wealth of our region's moving feast of arts and culture. Your reporting reinforces the importance of participating in arts and culture and the critical nature of the creative process during both good times and bad. Arts and culture sustain us and allows us to understand the complexities within ourselves and others. You often exhibit a sense of genuine amazement at the bounty and richness of our region's arts and culture, and you invite the rest of us with curiosity and humor into your surprises and your discoveries. As Zora Neale Hurston said, there are years that ask questions and years that answer. We have all suffered immeasurable loss during the past few years, personally, as a collective planet, and in the loss of time. The future is not entirely clear, but we do know that art will always provide an essential salvation for humanity by showing us our purest motivations and touching our deepest hearts and minds. Jared Bowen, you have dedicated your career to bringing arts and culture to as wide an audience as possible. It is with great appreciation for your work that the trustees of Massachusetts College of Art and Design bestow upon you an honorary doctorate of fine arts. Congratulations, Jared. Thank you and congratulations. Would Steve Locke and James Mason please join Chair Hamilton at center stage? Steve Locke, your extraordinary and evocative work makes us think and see. You don't permit us to look away. Instead, you challenge us to ask questions about what we're thinking and what we're seeing. You press us to look closely at ourselves and our beliefs in the most important of ways. You help reveal our biases and our understandings of each other, our communities, and the world. You often take us to difficult places through your work, and you don't offer easy answers. Your art has the capacity to move and unbalance audiences and to amplify, as you have said, the dance between memory and fact. Your art is potent and your engagement far-reaching. You do not settle your work exclusively in the ivory towers of academia or in quiet climate-controlled galleries. Your work extends beyond these comfortable spaces to connect and impact municipalities, city agencies, museums, historical sites, libraries, and even the bastion of commonality, the U.S. Postal Service. You incorporate beauty and grace, and you touch people. You engage audiences as an artist, a speaker, a writer, and a professor. And you ask that we engage with each other, even when it's hard. You require that we pay attention, with eyes fully open to our shared American history of violence, victimization, vulnerability, and trauma, addressing racism, enslavement, sexuality, identity, love. And at times you ask that we look directly at you as you gaze back. You push critical conversations forward, giving them air, shaking your audiences out of any complacency. You move fluidly between mediums, painting, photography, sculpture, drawing, and incorporating found objects, maps, words, light. Your list of public projects and exhibitions is extensive, both nationally and internationally, including work at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, Boston's Institute of Contemporary Art, and shows in Sweden, Switzerland, and Brazil. You have received a multitude of distinguished fellowships, grants, and residencies, including a Guggenheim, a MacDowell residency, and a City of Boston Artist in Residency. Steve, when your longtime mentor, colleague, and friend Lois Hetland was asked for an impression of you, she said, "Steve enters the Posen, greeting everyone by name with a huge smile and a joyous wave. He's been a core light at the college since the 90s. His brilliant teaching connects each student's work to the contemporary field so that they then can converse as their professionals. He generously teaches his colleagues too, opening the art world wider for each of us. In his work, no words. The college gains 100-fold by honoring him today. We are deeply proud that you are a double MassArt degree holder, having received bachelor's and master's degrees here, and that you chose this institution as a place of learning. You have been a valued and respected professor here, teaching here for 13 years, and you are now a faculty member at Pratt Institute, where you continue to educate future generations on the wealth of craft and engagement required to follow a life of artistic production and leadership. Steve Locke, in honor of the power of your work, the many students whose lives you've impacted and who have benefited from your thoughtful scholarship and instruction, the multitude of people who have been moved by your work, and the public institutions that have benefited through collaborations with you, the trustees of the Massachusetts College of Art and Design are elated to bestow upon you an honorary doctorate of fine arts. Congratulations, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Would Kim Janey and Trustee Darren Bascom please join Chair Hamilton at center stage? Mayor Kim Janey, yours is a life of exceptional and barrier-breaking public service. Your deep and abiding commitment to the city we all share is extraordinary. You are a proud fourth-generation Roxbury resident from a long and rich line of educators, entrepreneurs, artists, and advocates. You have followed in their footsteps while you have also worked tirelessly to create your own dynamic, powerful, impressive, and entirely new path of promise that benefits us all. You have been front and center for decades of Boston history, both bright and dark. When you were 11 years old, you participated in Boston's controversial court-mandated school desegregation plan, witnessing some of our city's ugliest time. And during COVID-19 pandemic, a very different period of challenge and tumult, you were sworn in as Boston's first woman and first Black mayor. Your personal history and the city's history are inextricably interwoven, and we are grateful for your dedication. You have been a beacon and a champion for so many, and often for our city's most vulnerable citizens. In 25 years of dedicated service to the nonprofit sector, you have worked at the highest level of city government, but also as a community organizer, advocating for affordable, quality child care for Boston's youngest residents. At Massachusetts Advocates for Children, you promoted systemic policy reforms to increase equity, excellence, access, and opportunity across Boston's complex public school system. You have made history many times. In 2017, you were elected to the Boston City Council as the first woman to represent District 7. In 2020, you were elected by your peers to serve as president of the most diverse city council in Boston's history. And in 2021, you made history again. Not only were you the first woman and the first Black mayor of Boston, but you stepped into the role, you leaped into the role during an unprecedented crisis, the COVID-19 global pandemic. There was nothing standard about your time in office. Your tenure required a comprehensive citywide agenda of recovery, reopening, and renewal to address the long-term, wide-ranging inequities that were exposed, displayed, and exacerbated by the pandemic. You centered equity in the process, prioritized health and wellness, and elevated arts and culture. Your joy agenda created numerous opportunities to spark joy through art and reconnect people to public spaces while processing our collective grief. Your thoughtful initiative, steadfastness in your leadership provided stability during uncertain and deeply frightening times. You have devoted the majority of your life to unwavering public service, uplifting and improving the lives of Bostonians from all parts of the city. You have left a positive imprint on our transportation systems, mental health, child welfare, urban development, small business, and you put policies in place to provide critical protection for renters and homeowners. Your current positions as resident fellow at the Institute of Politics at Harvard's Kennedy School, inaugural fellow at the Berry Institute of Politics at Salem State University, and executive in residence at the Boston Foundation honor your breadth of experience and knowledge. You have received many prestigious awards, including the Boston NAACP's Difference Maker Award, the Sapphire Award, and the Hugh B. Jones Award, among others. You are also dedicated to your family, daughter Kamisha and your 3 grandchildren who are 5th and 6th generation Bostons. And Kim's mother and family is here today. Thank you so much for being with us. Kim Janey. Kim Janey, in recognition of your selfless commitment to the City of Boston and your conscious stewardship of its history and its future, the trustees of Massachusetts College of Art and Design are proud to bestow upon you an honorary doctorate of fine arts. I'm now delighted to introduce you to our keynote speaker and very recent honorary doctorate recipient, Kim Janey. Kim?
I'm a little emotional, and I blame you, Steve. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. I want to begin my remarks by thanking President Mary Grant. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for your leadership and for the leadership of your amazing team, all of the faculty, all of the professors, staff, administrators here at Mass College of Art. I am just blessed. I have 2 commencements this week. Both colleges are led by women. Yes. And as the first woman to lead the great city of Boston, I am so thrilled. I am so thrilled to see a growing number of women lead institutions of higher learning here in our city. Yes, thank you. I want to thank the Board of Trustees. I had the pleasure of connecting with your board chair recently while I was living in Cambridge as a resident fellow at the Harvard Kennedy School Institute of Politics. So I want to thank you, Elisa Hamilton, for all that you do. But most of all, I have to thank you, the students, the artists, the creatives. Look around. No, look around. Look at each other. I'm a black woman, the granddaughter of a Baptist preacher. We're in church. Look around. Look at your fellow classmates. You have everything you need to make your mark on our world. And each and every one of you gives me hope for a brighter future. I feel so incredibly blessed to stand before you this afternoon. I'm grateful to share the stage with you, with alum Steve Locke, who is an artist extraordinaire. Thank you so much. I am grateful to share the stage with WGBH's Jared Bowen, an award-winning professional there at WGBH, thank you for all that you do to create and celebrate art. Please join me in giving my fellow commencement honorees another round of applause. It is so good to be here in person. This is the first time since 2019, and it feels good. I want to take a moment to recognize the class of 2020 and the class of 2021. You have all worked so hard and you have persevered, and I certainly hope that you share in this moment. Boston is the city that I love. It's the city that nurtured me. My life experiences have always guided my work on behalf of the people, organizations, and institutions that call Boston home. I learned very early on the significance of art and the importance of institutions like the Massachusetts College of Art and Design, which celebrates 150 years in 2023. You know, art has power. Art has the power to bring people together. Art can encourage us, it can challenge us. Art can unite us, it can inspire us. Art can educate, it can liberate. It has the power to transform lives and change conditions. Yes, art has the power to change conditions, and you, the class of 2022, you are the new generation of change makers. Yes, and I should know, I come from a family of change makers. My family supported and guided me from a very early age, shaping my love of community and my appreciation for the arts. You see, I was blessed to be raised in a large family of educators, entrepreneurs, activists, and artists. Growing up in a family of artists, I remember hearing stories of my uncle's doo-wop singing group. I would imagine them singing on a corner under a street lamp. My family's passion for music was passed on to younger generations. Today, I have nephews who are local hip-hop artists, R&B singers, songwriters, and music producers. I also have cousins who are actors and playwrights, photographers, and filmmakers. And my Nana Janey, our matriarch, was a poet. My younger brother combined art and entrepreneurship, turning his passion into a career in design and fashion. He attended MassArt, following in his mother's footsteps. His mother, my stepmother, Janaea Majid Janey, graduated from MassArt in 1974 with a BFA in art education. Yes. My sister and I joke, and she's here today, my sister and I joke that we must have been a handful as kids because God saw fit to bless us with two moms. My bonus mom, Janaea, was an amazing artist. I hung the portrait that she painted of me when I was in first grade in the mayor's office. My birth mother, Phyllis Janey, is here with me today. She is 75 years old, and just a few years ago, she began creating mixed media art inspired by her love of nature. My mother is living proof that you are never too old to discover your passion for the arts. And you are never too young either. I started creating art only a mother could love when I was about 3 or 4 years old. My mother introduced me to finger painting, and as a preschooler, my 3 or 4-year-old self was in heaven. A year or two later, my mother and father enrolled me in the Elma Lewis School of Fine Arts. Miss Lewis founded the school in 1950 with a focus on visual and performing arts to provide an arts education in Boston's Black community. Miss Lewis later went on to found the National Center of Afro-American Artists, which is home to a whole host of arts programming, including a museum. Elma Lewis left us a rich arts legacy, which we should all be grateful for. At 5 years old, I was extremely shy, so my enrollment at the Elma Lewis School of Fine Arts was short-lived. But my exposure to the arts remained constant. At home, music was always playing on the radio or the record player. At larger family gatherings during the holidays, for example, it was typical for relatives to sing and play musical instruments like the piano or the guitar. Growing up in Boston, art was all around me in my community. I remember murals displaying Black pride, Black resilience, and Black liberation all over my neighborhood of Roxbury. One of those murals was featured on a platform of the elevated Dudley train station in the 1980s, before any of you were born. It was painted by Janey, my bonus mom. Her artwork is a source of pride in our family. As children, my cousins and I always loved to do special art projects with her, like mixed media and ceramics. Equipped with her BFA in art education that she earned here at MassArt, Janey went above and beyond for young people all over our city. She inspired thousands of students as a teacher for the Boston Public Schools, an art teacher. She embraced all children, including kids that society had written off. She founded Young Graffiti Masters to give young people a space to express themselves while also challenging what is considered art. Sadly, my beloved bonus mom, who poured so much into me, is no longer with us. She passed away 22 years ago. But I've carried her lessons with me throughout life and throughout my career. As a nonprofit leader, for example, I've advocated for arts education. Too often, schools would cut arts programming due to budget constraints or Can you hear me? All right. So as a nonprofit leader, for example, I advocated for arts education because too often our schools would cut arts programming due to budget constraints or a misguided attempt to prepare students for standardized tests by overloading them with math and English instead of recognizing how important art is to social development and critical thinking. As a city, yes. As a city councilor, I chaired the Boston City Council's Art Committee, where I prioritized live workspaces for artists. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. I also championed cultural districts and mural preservation, thinking of the many murals of my childhood that no longer exist. As mayor of Boston, I continued to invest in the arts. I launched the All-Inclusive Boston campaign, a campaign I might add that was designed and developed by one of your trustees and alum, thank you, Darren. I launched the All-Inclusive campaign to showcase a new generation of diverse entrepreneurs, innovators, and artists living and working in Boston, many of whom are people of color. And like President Grant, I stepped into my role as mayor during very difficult times. And like President Grant, I knew art could be used to help us heal from the trauma of COVID-19. I knew that we could find healing through art, so I launched the Joy Agenda, a citywide invitation to reimagine our city in a way that centers and celebrates joy. The Joy Agenda encouraged opportunities for collective healing and for investing in imagination and creativity. It was about helping people reconnect after the devastation and the isolation brought on by the pandemic. We used art to strengthen community ties and to rebuild, restore, and rejuvenate. Now, today is a joyous day. It is a day of celebration. But if you think about everything that is going on in our world, you are quickly reminded that we are navigating very, very challenging times. The US COVID death toll has recently reached 1 million. We continue to lift up all those who have passed away and all those who are grieving. Yes, the challenges are many. The climate change crisis, the war in Ukraine, inflation, voter suppression, rollbacks on Roe, and racially motivated violence. We will continue to hold space in our hearts for the victims of the Buffalo Massacre. But when you pray, move your feet. This African proverb reminds us that thoughts and prayers aren't enough. We need advocacy and we need real change. Yes. Yes, the challenges are many, but I am encouraged. I am encouraged. People are organizing, and from day one of this pandemic, essential workers have been on the front lines, keeping our hospitals open, our store shelves stocked, and our buses running. Now, art is essential to life. Yes, it is. And that means artists are essential workers. We owe you a huge debt of gratitude. Thank you for helping us heal and for bringing us joy, the joy that is found in new parks and libraries and museums. It is the joy that is found in public art installations and in neighborhood murals that encourage us to breathe life. Yes. These last 2 years have reminded us that our entire community is connected. When we do what is right for those who have been left out, when we create shared goals and shared solutions, everyone is better off. Now is time to move our communities forward together. That is your charge, class of 2022. And as I close, I want to encourage you to use your voice, to use your art, to use your power. Class of 2022, this is your time. You have a stake. You have a stake in our city's future. You are the essential part of our country's recovery. We can't go back. Our only option is to go better. This is our opportunity to create a world that your future grandchildren deserve. The more equitable, just, and resilient world inspired by your activism and the art you will create. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much for your words of inspiration, wisdom, and encouragement. It is my pleasure. Actually, before we move, how about one more round of applause for Kim Janey? It is now my great pleasure to invite Chair Hamilton to the podium so that we may begin the conferring of degrees, as well as Interim Provost Mason and Associate Provost Lucinda Bliss to join us, center stage. The names of our graduates will be read by Laura Flynn, Senior Director of Student Engagement, and Jamie Costello, Associate Vice President and Dean of Students. And before I invite our graduates up to the stage, where we're thrilled to be back celebrating in person, we're going to keep continuing some of our efforts that we've done to keep the community safe. So we'll do fist bumps, elbows, whatever works like that. But big smiles under those masks as you're coming across. We're going to take pictures. We'll take those down so we can get a good shot of you on this very special time. And now, without further ado, I'd like to invite our graduates to approach the stage. First, our master's graduates, and then we'll call up our bachelor's candidates. So, Madam Chair.
In recognition of your successful completion of the requirements for a Master of Architecture, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Design, Master of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts and Certificate, and by virtue of the authority granted us by the Department of Higher Education and the Massachusetts State Legislature, the trustees of Massachusetts College of Art and Design do confer these decrees upon the class of 2022 and admits them to the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining hereto, and also upon the classes of 2020 and 2021.
All right, guys, let's do this. All right, Master of Architecture, Maki Duan. Carolyn Adams Lowell. Danielle A. Pinette. Mulugeta Fentuhun Wali. William Zabang Liu. Roya. Gotcha. Going too quick. Backing things up. Yeah. It's been a couple years since I've done this. Going too quick, sorry. All right, we're back on track. Roya Razayan. Master of Arts, Chelsea Catherine Costa. Mary L. Garrity. Master of Arts in Teaching, Class of 2021, Jessica Marion. Brianna D. Farina, Class of 2022. Damian Michael Hickey. Darren Corman. Remy Malik. Devin McSheehy. Master of Design. Oh, again. Slow down, Jamie. Just trying to get you all to the party afterwards. I'm looking out for you. All right, Master of Design. Class of 2021, Nicole Louis. Class of 2022, Lizelle Rumajo. Priya Krishna Nair. Mangting Lin. Sher Guo. Master of Fine Arts, class of 2021, Salman Fahardi. Class of 2022, Claudio Ashan. Tatiana Gabrielle Bachman. Nicholas Albino De Paola. Crystal B. Wegner. Kaylee Brooks McDonald. Kathleen Marie Martin. Shofei Mao. Michael Agahoa. Afsane Enahashi Doyan. Lori A. Gordon. Sebastian Gonzalez Quintero. Sarah M. Witherow. Kristen Beth Powers. Okay. Master of Fine Arts, Jenny Lee Olson. Nicholas Mate Milkovich. All right, class of 2020, Bachelor of Fine Arts in Animation. Cornelia Pashlova. Amanda Sue Peterson. Maya P. McDonald. Sydney Mae McDonald. Abigail Constance Ekstrom. Julie Deborah Martin. Angela Marie Garden. All right, Communication Design, class of 2020. Alyssa M. Donovan. Abimbola Abidon Odwali. How'd I do? It's okay. Fashion Design, Angelina Richardson. Did I miss somebody? Okay. Hannah Cousins. Matthew Charles Knight. Chaksin Shi. Julia R. Harrington. In painting, Fiona Toll Mosley. In film video, Jane Flessa. The card issue. All right, dual majors. Camila Bohan in Zoology. 2020 Painting in Sim. Amanda Jane French, Printmaking and Art History. Celia Jane Rosa, Painting and History of Art. Sinlin Wong, Ceramics and Industrial Design. Lauren Elizabeth Thomas, Art Education and Illustration. Communication Design, Donna Wilson. Jacob David Jocelyn Glass. Shayna Swenson, Illustration. Jordan Dwayne Nelson, Illustration. All right, Class 2020 Industrial Design. Peter James Kahili. Andrew Tenyi Chan. Bedelin Dable. Yay. Sabrina Sarondo.
And then these are still ID 2020, so just keep going.
Calder McKay. Jean-Henry Chevret. Bradley Sal Trepanier. Evan David Willard.
This one's photo, didn't have a divider.
2020 photography, Ethan Hammerly.
One of these you have to read their major, they're not in order because the person didn't line them up right.
Gotcha. Class of 2021. Katiana Rodriguez, illustration. Shahari Lexis Ortega. Studio for Interrelated Media. Sage Ann Schrader, photography. Isabella Bennett, photography. Otto Ray Stevenson, photography. Courtney Mescal, photography. Caroline Seeley, fashion design. Amanda C. Weaver, art education. Trevor R. Collins, communication design. Andrew M. Ryder, communication design. Nita Ferrante, communication design. Emma Morgan, fashion design. Quing Lee, fashion design. Jacqueline Estacio Moniz, fashion design. Emily Dekopf, illustration. Sarah Elizabeth Machichi, illustration. Chloe F. Reynolds, illustration. Jade I. Matthews, animation. Maxwell Brown, illustration. Min Zhang, film and video. Allison Rose Power, animation. Sky Malerba, animation. Alexandra Minos, animation. All right, class of 2022. Bachelor of Fine Arts, hold on. Animation, Tingwoha Chang. Alex N. Bloom. Sabella Amara Mastricola. Anson Chen. Aaron Tamayo Navin. Keely Pearson. Theo Faith Turner. Joey Remy. Mary Langell. Austin W. Jagodinsky. Yeah, you got this. Good, hon. How you doing? Sean H. Bonnyman. Yeah. Olive Corshane. Jenna E. Kelly. Lily A. Mocklin. Joseph Gallagher. Abraham Anaviska. Kayla Rowland. Martine Seaman. Samuel Markey. Valerie Chafee. John Eric Castro. Isabella Leonley Hu. Andrew Mercudio Joubert. Ella Louise Hines. Galen Wongso, sorry. Kaleem M. Mims. Jade Carey. Nina Cecino. Jordan O. Murnick. Emily Dismaris. Chloe Basile. Jimmy Phipps. Eric Diorio. Megan Kelly. Elsie Merck. Architecture. David Watkiss. Natalie J. Holmes. Molly Rice. Daphne Baldumas. Eric Lee. Nazari Sineko. Eleni Adali Upante. Chris Lee Biachico. Mark A. Guerrero. Willow Feeland. Stephanie Marie Keefe. Jose Visbal. Lamont R. Hudson. Raniel Ranini. Fanini. Sorry, Fanini. Sorry. I messed that one up. All right, art education. Dorit Ernst. Yep. Nanina Lopez. Oops. Michaela J. Murphy. DJ D'Ambrosio. Julia Renee Larson. James Vance Deal. Elizabeth K. Schaefer. Zachary T. Mansfield. Olivia Edgarin Fortin. Caroline Taylor Bradley. Misha Rita Marie Trochanor Barron. How'd I do? Cameron Roberts. Astrid Araya. Savannah R. Morocco. Jacqueline Obashan. Joanna C. Mears. Matthew Zelznick. I wish you all could see some of the notes these guys put on here. It's hilarious. We should save these cards. Communication design. Emma Melody Spalding. Tulika Roy. Sam Phipps. Calvin LaPlante. Emma Kanoko de Surratt. Mao Atsuki. Emily Hong Chan Chen. Molly Mackenzie Chan. Megan Yip. Emma M. Tedeschi. Oops. John S. Ross. Caitlin M. Carr. Hannah M. Williams. Joe Rose Ahola. Griffin R. Miller. Hannah Quadro. Ashley Joanne Marchetti. Carrie E. Blanchard. Larissa Ann Turvale. Gracie Summer Tate. Ryan Paul Vale. Nathan W. Medici. Emily A. Manson. Ni Nguyen. All right. Zoe Manheso. Knock Bick Win. Abigail M. Edholm. Cade Ellen Brillmare. Lucy T.M. Glover. Sarah Ann Aubie. Haley M. Cooper. Selena St. Louis. Emma Trenanis. Danielle N. Borelli. Emma Lillian Sheedy. Chloe E. Allard. Sarah Lau. Olivia Matheson. Alexis S. Higgins. Jean-Paul O'Neill. Kristen Wynn. Catherine Yanen Reyes Martinez. Isaiah Martins. Jameson Mitchell Noonan. Lauren M. Epler. Jacqueline R. Carbone.
Fashion design, Sabrina Hollander. Maxine Olivia Miles. Heather Marie Varda. Jennifer Ann Cole. Emily A. Malore. Congrats. Madeline Claudia Johnson. Olivia Emma Rose. Gianna Suzette Walker. Laiba Azar. Zende Wong. Rosa Lay. Good. Suan Chun Pan. Dat Q Duong. Waitao Wu. Izzy Desmet. It's fine. Okay. Virginia Nardo. Roger L. Neves. Rona Connie Zabari. Nina Sophia Wish. In film video, Emily Lorraine McGrath. Molly Kinch. Nicole Lynn Spazian Helms. Julia M. Castaneda. Javier E. Castillo. Adia Maureen Stark. Blue Elizabeth Pinkham. Sophie C. Olson. Christian Kalsick. Noah J. Duarte. Sophie Isabel Carlton. Caroline Rowe. Lucas J. Aruda. Linwood Giles III. Mohammed El Sherbini. In painting, Xiao Zhang. Huilin Li. Beatrice Amelia Whitehill. Olivia Purinton. Sabine Kwan. Kira Marie Goodale. Lillian A. Stevens. Andy Schofield. Nasiri Guzman. Nora Donahue Fraser. Ian C. Bryden. Campbell J. McLean. Alex Martin Blaisdell. Victoria Grace Hampton. We got you. Joshua Paul Barish. Brea Josephine Corcoran. Charlotte Wells Steadfast. Jamie Costello. In printmaking, Zoe Elise Shimataro. In printmaking and studio for interrelated media, Frederick J. Thomas. Mallory Bell Epstein. Lily Yu Jia McDonald.
Yeah, are all mixed together, so I have
Read
to
them all.
read all the majors.
Absolutely. In Fine Arts 3D, Allison Oldakowski, yeah, in sculpture. Julia Renee Ferrin, sculpture. Alexis J. Ruiz, sculpture. Megan Faith Albee, sculpture. Yes. Matthew Burke Serpa, sculpture. In a dual major in illustration and ceramics, Amanda Michelle Godowski. Julia C. Spielman. Catherine S. Keenan. Andy McKay. Ann Essex. Bean A. Pecorari. In fibers, James G. Morningstar. Christine Marie Brown. In glass, Emma R. Crossman. Mia E. Zellner. Julia Roxanne Cunningham. Olivia Lee Curtis. In jewelry and metalsmithing, Isabel Burton Stanley. Grayson Emery Mackin. Elliot W. Papp. Sadie S. Morgan. Megan A. Tanucci. In history of art, Lauren R. Horn. Alyssa Patricia Driscoll. Alexandru Zaharia. Aiden R. Collins. Nicholas A. Curry. In illustration, Blake Patrick Denmark. Jennifer Don. Lynn Jeffrey. Faye Sylvia. Vicky Xiao Ting Chen. Ariana W. Stoughton. Antonio T. Axel. Vivian A. Hudgens. Lydia C. Lasky. Noah Parker Royal. Amanda Beatriz Pineda. Emily Nicole Geisen. Rebecca Lynn Town. Christina Nicole Malphus. Jace Meradian. Maximilian Taylor Nosevich. Guilford Nathaniel Murphy. Taylor M. Murchie. Faye Murphy Roberts. Laurencia Drew Young. Mia N. Sceglarini. Olivia Grace Lynn. Lawrence Miles Bousquet. Erin Ann Packard. Angie Blanco. Jordan Alexander Henderson. Alexander James Carbo. Kaylee Amanda Puksheva. Larissa Filatov. Reiko Elizabeth Lee. Kaylee Isabella Zimmerman. Pauline Pitts. Nicole Taylor Lysinski. Sadie N. Weedle. Colin T. McCormick. Alphonse Kogan. Morgan S. Gradenius. Alice Cullen Rufo. Olivia Immaculata Birmingham. Una J. Stivers. Lucy D. Gilo. Katie Serato. Christopher Lord Falcioni. Darius Sarabrova. Karen West. Olivia R. Herlihy. Elena Mathis. Marissa M. Mazzoni. Nicole Nolan. No, that's what it said phonetically. Abigail Luth. Connie Vin Ong. Sometimes they don't know how to do phonetics. Una Ann Doang Pradeep. Zachary the Gamer Gutoni. Hersum Rivera. Andy Shu. Marina A. McKeever. Nichelle Nem. Lourdes Maria de Leon. Nicole Burmester Zambrano. Brittany Perry. Damon Cameron Dye. Allison S. DeJesse. Alan Shay Jimerson. Mary K. McGuire. Michaela Paige Clanchesser. Ewan Howe. Kimberly L. Fountain. Mary K. Tambasco. Kara Ann Breslin. Isabella Voshulo. In industrial design, Matthew C. Leary. Robert E. Massarelli III. Isaiah J. A. Wiggum. Cameron R. Olson. In industrial design and glass, Celia Ocello Delaney. CJ Lawler. Samuel Sukju Squires. Timothy Ty. L. Nora Horton. Taylor Marie Penniman. Normand Pierre Louis. Shayna Eliza Charles. In photography, Melanie Hennessy. Kylie M. Enos. Xavier May Hill Prater. Maggie Liu. Marcus Giuliani. Quinn G. Bennett. Abby Prishong. Gina Minucci. Lauren Rosemary Galuzzi. Coleman D. Hill. Carter W. Thompson. In studio for interrelated media, Ryan Davies. Amy R. Carpenter. Journey Faith Temple. Randy Samuel Aguilar. Aaron Edwards. Sam Russell. Kestrel Percy Marrow. Indy Francis. Teresa M. Forlenzo. Jacob M. Cabral. Stephen M. Spencer. Luke Miglin. Kira Rayanne Mastel. Alyssa Adelaide Moore. Dual majors in Fibers and Sim, Evelyn O'Donoghue. In Painting and Sim, Sophia E. Ray. In Painting and Ceramics, Jade Morgan Olson. In Painting and History of Art, Jillian Rose Cooper. In Communication Design and History of Art, Hannah Landry Briggs. In Photography and Communication Design, Jonathan Eldridge Brown. Congratulations. And for our certificate programs, Certificate in Fashion Design, Sylvie DeJohn. Evelyn Reyes. Julie Lawson. Certificate in Industrial Design, Alec M. DiNapoli. Nerva N. Shah. Certificate in Furniture Design, Richard Burns. Certificate in Communication Design, Michelle R. Letourneau. Aradhana Pandy. And Sarah Shin.
Okay, congratulations to everybody. Wow, spectacular. What a great day this has been, and what a gift it has been to look out at all of you. We really do have the best seats in the house up here, looking out at all of you. This wonderful day has made so much richer because we get to share it with family and friends who are here. Thank you to all of our family and friends and guests for being here today. Thank you, James, Jenny, Rebecca, Stephen, Stanislav, for your wise words. Thank you, Mayor Janey, for your words of hope and inspiration, and about a reminder of the power of art and artists. Traditions like this one that we did today are so important, that we gather, that we celebrate, that we recognize your accomplishments. And as you leave here today, I'm not going to give you a charge, I'm going to share with you a wish. And my wish for you is that you never stop learning, that you practice and encourage creativity in all things that you do, that you remain curious, you continue to develop your skills, you open yourself to new experiences, new people, new cultures, that you speak up against injustice and use your considerable tools to be part of the solution, and that no matter where you go, you contribute to the communities that you will help build and help shape and help nourish. And as we consider the future, reflect for a moment about some of the accomplishments we've acknowledged here today. We've learned about the accomplishments of Jared, of Stephen, of Kim Janey, and we're inspired by Mayor Kim Janey's journey in her undaunting service to her city. Consider for a moment, just a moment, what this city, what our community would be like if we had not had these three individuals who have made such a difference. Take a moment and think about your family and your friends. Think about the difference they've made in your life. Think about all who have traveled this road to get you here today, all you have done to get yourself here today. Take time to appreciate everyone who has joined you. And most of all, take time to tell them that you love them. Make sure you do that. Tell them that you love them. And I want to leave you with the words of the sculptor Teresa Fernandez, a sculptor and MacArthur Award winner. And she said that being an artist is not just about what happens when you are in the studio, the way you live, the people you choose to love and the way you love them, the way you vote, the words that come out of your mouth, the size of the world you make for yourselves, your ability to influence the things you believe in, your obsessions, your failures, all these components will also become the raw material for the art that you make. I would add that all these components are the raw materials for the life that you will lead and the life you will make. And looking out at you, I am so hopeful. You have all the raw materials to make a difference and to face the challenges and the opportunities ahead with courage and with love. So go on, make a difference in all that you do. Live your best life, live it with joy, with hope, with love, with gratitude. Be kind to those around you, be kind to yourself. Class of 2022, it has been a great privilege to know you and to work with you. It is time to set you loose upon the world. So look out, world. Here comes the class of 2022. On behalf of all those who are here today, congratulations. And please join me in congratulating those who have been with us from the classes of 20 and 21. Congratulations. Thank you all for a wonderful celebration. The platform party is going to exit. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Give each other a hug, and congratulations once again. Thank you all.